Oh, yes, the Championship season is back. It's Stoke versus Coventry. It's a brand new season on Terrace Talk. Here we go. Welcome back, Liam. It's good to see your face. I never thought I'd say that, but it means the football season is back. How are you?
I'm all right. Not many people say that, to be fair.
Liam, you spent last year on Terrace Talk, most of it being thoroughly depressed with Stoke City. This year, we've got some friends to join you in being thoroughly depressed about Stoke City. We have got both Andy and Alfie, who are massive Stoke fans, but also massive on social media as well, with many, many followers. So we are delighted they're giving up their time to join us on Terrace Talk this season. Welcome, Alfie. You all good?
Yes, thank you, mate. You?
I'm good. And welcome, Andy,
Lovely.
who's sports journalist as well, Andy. So we'll be going up and down the country with the Potters. How are you, Andy?
Not too bad. Let's hope that I can actually have better reporting than 0-0s and losses this year.
Come on, let's be positive. It's going to be a good season. I like Schumacher. I think you've got a good spine. Let's get into it. Liam, obviously, we thank you for all your work you've done last year on this. Are you genuinely slightly more optimistic than you were last season?
I'm optimistic in how we ended the season, but Stoke have a habit, like I told you before, of doing that. Playing well towards the end, and then it all comes to the start. We all get a bit excited, and then it starts and it goes down the pan. I'm excited to see what Schumacher does after a full pre-season. So, I've had a lot of to-dos so far on Twitter about the transfer window so far, but as I keep saying to everyone, it's not over yet. There's a lot of clubs with business to do, so let's see what we've got by the end. We've got a tough start in Coventry. I think they'll be right up there, so I'm slightly positive.
Okay. We're going to be with you every step of the way. Let's review then this summer, and let's go. We won't go through every single player because we will do that as the weeks go by, starting with the defence next week. First of all, Alfie, the news about the ownership. Coates now has helped me understand this, is that now owns Stoke rather than Bet3, the company. What does that mean for the fans? What does it mean for the club?
It means, I like John Coates and what he does for the club. He's put a lot of investment, not just on the pitch, but off it, like the fan zone that we've just had installed, safe standing. The community does a lot as well. So I think it just means even more investment in the club, which was already high anyway. But it just adds a lot of just useful resources for the fans out of the fan zone, and hopefully more money towards signings. And he's obviously more involved in the recruitment, which I'm not too sure about, but I'm sure he'll obviously leave a lot of it to like the head of recruitment, the director of football, if we get one as well, if we get one rolling.
Okay. And I mean, I've got to say this. And I mean, the fact that away coaches are being paid for again, the club, is that something like 5 years in a row, something like that?
I think it's even more than that. And we've had it's a long time, and we've had season ticket prices frozen since like 2008, which has meant obviously mine was 170 for an under 18, which has meant. I think an adults is doing the 240 as well. So it's like the best in the league, pretty much.
Andy, every year we talk about Stoke being so good off the pitch. Everything they do in terms of community and things that Alfie's just spoken about is great. Is this the year that it finally falls good on the pitch? Because it's still an incredible stat, isn't it, that Stoke have not had a top half finish since they've left the Premier League. I cannot get over that. Is this the year?
We've been saying this since we've come down. This is the year. First season we came down, the signs of transfer window. This is the year, but will it be the year? I don't think so. The optimism of that's gone, but it'll be a better finish than what we've had in the past. I can see the players that we're signing. We've had to fight off Premier League clubs to be able to sign them. Some of the players we've got are capable of reaching there in a couple of seasons with the potential they've got. So if we're going on finishes wise, I'm saying top half, just to be safe.
Right. Right, Liam, talk us through pre-season then. How have Stoke been doing? What's the play been like? Forget about results, but have you been impressed, worried, or ambivalent?
They've been all right, to be fair. I think we've played quite low quality opposition for most of the games. And we've dominated most of them. I think we lost against Stockport, but we played a second string for most of it. So we've played decent spells, but the problem I've got is Schumacher football, it's high intensity, the passing's got to be quick, and we've still got this knack in us of going long periods without doing that. It might change when the season starts. Like Schumacher said in his interview, we just lost against AZ Alkmaar. It's his interview after the real thing starts now. Pre-season's all good, well and good, get minutes to the legs, but let's see how we go. So it's hard to judge. We've had quite a few injuries for pre-season, which is a bit of a concern. That's all you want to come out of pre-season with, isn't it? Fitness. I don't particularly care about results. But yeah, Jun Ho, Ryan Mai, Michael Rose, Vidigal was missing last game, so we've got no current forwards apart from Ennis, and they might as well put me up front, to be fair.
Okay. You said that a couple of times last season, if I remember rightly. Okay. Yeah. All right, then we'll talk about a couple of signings, though. Alfie, Sam Gallagher from Blackburn. What's he going to give you that you didn't have before?
He reminds me a bit of Jacob Brown, but without the finishing, from what I've heard from Blackburn fans. He's an hard worker. He's good in the air, obviously, because he's quite tall. But I think I looked at the stats where it says like the percentile and stuff, and he's not great on the ball, but I think with the quality around him, John Ho, Manhoof, and everyone like creative players, if he can get into the right positions, obviously in the air he's going to be good with his heading, and if we can get the fullbacks overlapping and putting good crosses into the box, he could be quite useful. But we've got to make sure we use him right, or else he'll be another Niall Ennis, unfortunately. A hard worker, but just no end product. Okay.
And Andy, a quick word on Gibson as well.
He's a solid centre-back, obviously. He's our Premier League experience, and he's already described Stoke as being home, which came in an article out earlier today. He's a left-footed centre-back, which is something we haven't really had for a long time. I think Harry Suter was the last one, and it's one thing we need if you play in a left-sided centre-back, you got to be able to progress more on that left-hand side, and obviously it'd be easier to cross over to the right if you need to play it across the pitch. So hopefully it's good, but the downside to him is he's another slow centre-back, which is something we've suffered with for years. So he's got his positives, he's got his negatives, but he's there for experience, and hopefully one of those lads in the changing room who can help us if we're 1 or 2-0 down at half-time to get a result back.
Okay. He's going to have his hands full this weekend with Coventry's pacey attack, and some people's pick to actually win the championship. Hands down. Let's focus on Coventry for a little bit. Welcome, Claudio. How are you?
Oh, good evening, all.
Welcome to Where the Potters Walk. What Claudio does not know about Coventry is not worth knowing for any Stoke fans watching this one. Claudio, how do you feel? You're being tipped for promotion. I've seen one pundit put you second below Leeds. How's that feel?
I reckon if we get another centre half in, another defensive midfielder, and a left back, we've got a good chance. Because we've got the squad's getting bigger and there's lots of cover. But I still think a couple of defenders short if we get suspensions.
Tell the Stoke fans watching this what Coventry have been like in pre-season. Then what can they expect at the Bet365 this weekend?
Well, if they put crosses in the box, they've got a good chance because they're not particularly great on crosses at the minute. But going forward, we've got a lot of pace. Sakamoto, Mason Clark, Haji Wright, Sims. And now we've got Asante as well. It's ridiculous. But our forward line, it reminds me of Ipswich from last season. We've got a lot of pace, and we've been lacking pace for a long time. Whether or not we play a system that will employ the players in the right places to do the job is a different matter. We're away from home. Had this been at home, I think I'd have nailed on win. But I think away from home, it's a bit tough, isn't it? First game of the season at Stoke, it's not going to be easy.
Lee, when you thanks for calling. Liam, when you saw the fixture list, did you sigh when you saw it's Coventry? Because you do not have a very good record at all against Coventry at home. In fact, it's bloody shocking.
Yeah, I wasn't overly pleased because I think they'll be top three personally. I think they'll be right up there. The only positive I got is they seem to have a tendency to maybe start slow. I think that's probably what's held them back in the past couple of seasons, maybe. So hopefully, again, that'll be the case.
And Claudio, how do you assess Stoke as a team?
I mean, as a Midlander, I'm quite disappointed, really, because you want the Midland teams to do really well. Not as well as your own team, but you just want to be up there and make a real fight of it. And I'm surprised. I am surprised that they're not stronger, especially with the ownership they've got. I know they can't spend their own money, but I just feel like there should be more. You know, they should. I mean, I'm surprised they've signed the guy from Blackburn, but they're probably desperate for a forward, aren't they, at the minute? So, you know, it's difficult. I think they should, as a club, they should be doing more.
I'm going to ask you some score predictions in a second there, but Andy, do you subscribe? I know you cover a lot of football as a journalist, not just Stoke, but you cover lots of teams. Do you see yourself as a journalist, Coventry being up there?
It's obviously local. With me recently relocating to Derby for myself, it's one of the easiest clubs to get around. Obviously, Derby's down the road, and then it's a quick train to either Stoke, Derby, and even Birmingham, to be fair. So I've got a little network link, but yeah, I could see it possibility even this season or coming up to the near future when I finish my degree.
What about Coventry then? Where do you think they'll finish?
Gosh, Coventry, yet again, they always start off slow, as we've picked up on. But they've always been up in that playoff places. I'd say anything from fourth upwards, but I can see them getting the automatics this year, so I'm going second again.
Okay. Let's get some score predictions, shall we then? Alfie, you're at home, so you can go. You can have the Stoke prediction.
I'm going to be optimistic for a change with Stoke. I'll go 2-1 Stoke because I do think Coventry will score with the pace they've got.
That's not allowed on Terrace Talk. We don't go for Stoke, Stoke winning predictions, do we, Liam? Claudio?
Shall I do my famous sitting on the fence?
No, go
on. I actually do think it's going to be a draw. I can't help it.
Get off.
I'm going for a high-scoring 2-2 draw. We'll go 2-2 draw. Entertaining game, loads of mistakes. Probably could have won it, kind of thing, and end up 2 each.
Right. Well, your last three results there were 3-2, 1-1, 0-2, 0-1. You haven't lost since 2006, and you go for a draw. Not having it. Not having it. Right. Cheers, Claudio. Time to rate some Stoke shirts. Cheers, Claudio. Right, rate my take. We are going to be putting some Stoke City takes on the screen for you and asking you for your views this week. We have not as nice as last season, to be honest, about these three. Liam, you can take the home one. What do you reckon? Liking it?
Yeah, I like it. You can't really go wrong with the red and white stripes, to be honest. I just like it. It's a bit of a change, you know, the black on the cuffs of the sleeves and the centre badge makes it a nice little bit of a change. So, I mean, I know it's sold really well. I think it's the highest selling home shirt in years. So, yeah, I really like it.
Okay. Bit too Sunderlandy for me, but never mind. Andy, away shirt?
It's simple but effective. Obviously, blackout shirts was something they did a couple of years ago, and they've gone a bit out of fashion, like when they did the black and gold. But, like, again, the collar having the red and white in there is it's discreet, but you can tell that it's not just a plain shirt from it. So I like it, but compared to what we had this year, which is very similar to the third shirt, which is going to be coming up, it's done the right way this time rather than having a fancy away shirt and a plain third shirt.
I'm in a WhatsApp group with lots of Stoke and Vale fans, and I know the Vale fans have made a few memes about this pink one. Alfie, what's your thoughts on it?
I don't mind it. It's all right. I can see why some people would like it, but I think, like it says, it's a nice change. Obviously, I can't remember the last pink kit we had, to be honest. It's a lot nicer in person. I went up the club shop. It's a lot nicer in person, but I think it's a little bit. I like the colour of the pink, the shade, but the pattern's what ruined it for me.
Okay. All right, then, just to finish with then, here's some quick fire questions about Stoke. We'll start with Liam. 90 seconds on the clock. Please only answer with 1 or 2 words. Here we go. Liam, where will Stoke finish this season?
12. Positive 12.
That's a positive, Charlotte. Okay. Alfie, which player at Stoke has the most to prove to fans this season?
Ooh, I think Bejon Ho again.
Okay. Andy, out of 10, how much faith do the Stoke fans have in the current manager?
I'd say probably about 7 or an 8.
Okay. Liam, same question, but this time about the board.
7 or 8. It's very mixed for Stoke fans.
Yeah.
Alfie, I can give you a 6-0 win now. Can you tell me the team and the ground which you would like the 6-0 win at?
Ooh, Pride Park against Derby.
To send them said that.
To send them down.
Okay. Andy, which team is winning the championship?
It's a lot closer this year with the quality of teams. It's really hard to put it down, but I feel like Leeds, with how close they got to it and missing out by how much they did, they would have won the championship last season, so them winning it this year is safe.
Okay. Not one word, but we'll let you have it. Liam, who's going down?
Oxford, Derby, and Blackburn.
A lot of hatred for Derby. And Alfie, finish his sentence. This season, Stoke fans are most looking forward to
Finishing above 14th.
Yeah.
For a change.
Brilliant. Okay. Listen, we will catch you then next week. You all will be watching the Coventry game, I'm sure, from your renewed season. Oh, no, Liam, you're off to. We won't see you next week, will you? Because you're off on your holidays to Disneyland.
Florida.
Yeah,
I will try and catch the. I will try and stream the game somewhere though, to my missus' hatred, but it's got to be done.
There's hurricanes forecast, so hope you miss all that. But,
yeah, better than
Alfie
watching Stoke caught in a hurricane.
Yeah, Alfie and Andy will catch you both next week, where we'll review the defensive and goalkeeping situation. Because of course we haven't mentioned what I think is one of the best signings of the summer by any club, and that is the capture of Rotherham's goalkeeper. But more on that next week. Cheers, fellas. We'll see you next week.
Cheers.
Cheers, mate.
See you later.
See you later.